Here are the phones in my room as of August 27th, 2025. On the main desk, we have a 2021 Panasonic KX-TG938x on the main desk line. This phone was a huge deal because this was my very first cordless phone to be purchased in its release year, 2021. Next to it, we have a 2014 Panasonic KX-TG938x second handset. This is one of my favorites because it has a stylish design, beautiful diamond cut buttons with a premium click feel, a color display, which the camera has a hard time focusing on, and a whole lot more. Here we have a 2024 Panasonic KX-TGU432, which was very special because not only did I also buy this one in the year of release, last year, 2024, but I bought it only a month after it came out. It came out in April, and I bought it in May. This phone also has beautiful premium click feel buttons, a flashlight, a boost button, side volume keys, a favorite contacts key, and a beautiful design. On the other side of the main desk, we have a 2018 Panasonic KX-TG938x on the main line. This phone is a very special one because it has my favorite implementation of a reversible handset design, the coolest implementation I've seen, where instead of having the traditional contact placement of one on the left and one on the right, the handset has a contact in the middle and on the side, and the base has 3 corresponding contacts. This is so that no matter which way you put the handset in, place on base power backup, which is a cool feature which we'll take a look at later, works properly. Next to it, we have a 2014 Panasonic KX-TG938x, which is the corded cordless version of the 9541 released in 2013. And this model I got instead of the 9541 because, one, I wanted a Panasonic corded cordless, but also because the 9541 has a very bad design decision, and that's the fact that even if you put rechargeable batteries in the base for the backup batteries, which is a cool feature that this series has, the batteries don't charge, so that they could leak due to being in there not charging or anything. But this fixes that. All the corded cordless models don't have this problem. Behind it, we have a 2008 Panasonic KX-TG9344, which is a very weird model because it looks, for the most part, like a DECT phone, because it is, as it says right there on the top, but the menus look like a 5.8 GHz phone, and it sounds like one too. This phone has a cool feature called Talking Alarm. So you can not only choose a tone or melody, you can also choose a phrase. And the options just appear as voice 1 through voice 7.
Good morning.
Because it can't fit "It's time to pick up the children," phrase 6, on this small display. Finally, for the main desk, we have an AT&T 213 trimline phone with a visual ringer and extra large buttons. So this is basically a 210, but with those 2 extra features. On the Windows desk, we have the second handset to the TGU432 and a 2022 Panasonic KX-TG938x Bluetooth handset, which you can pair with Bluetooth audio devices. And yes, you can even do this on cell calls because the handset's in charge of its Bluetooth and the base is in charge of the cell calls. This is registered to the 994SK on the desk. This handset I also purchased in the year of release, 2022. On the other side of the Windows desk, we have a 2014 Panasonic KX-TGE274, and this is the dialing-based variant of our home phone, the KX-TGE263. And it looks literally the same. So if you take out the base keypad and slim down the base width, you get our home phone's design. This phone has beautiful premium click feel buttons, a smart function key, and a visual ringer. Unfortunately, however, it did not get new ringtones like I thought it would have, considering the menus are worded differently for 2014 to present. However, Panasonic would then change that for the black version of this handset in about 2017, so for the KX-TG938x series. I don't know if they did that to be silver ones. And then behind it, we have the cordless handset to the KX-TG938x. And this is the only non-premium design US or Canada Panasonic phone to have the rising charge tone that we now hear on most of the foreign models, like in the UK or Middle East, compared to everything else, which just plays a regular beep, like the key tone. On the phone display shelf, we have the base and handset 1 of the KX-TG938x. Once again, you can see its very slick design. This is on the Cockpit line, and so is the 274. Next to it, we have a 2009 Panasonic KX-TG938x, which is pretty cool because not only is this the very first corded cordless phone whose manual I've read, and the very first corded cordless phone I've known about, so I did not know those were a thing until I saw the manual for this model in late 2012. You can change the base ringtone, which is not the case on any other Panasonic DECT model in the US aside from the 2016 KX-TGM series. Behind it, we have another handset, the second handset to the 9344. And by the way, its charger and battery cover are also used on the 63 series and the 5.8 version of that, the 43 series. Those also came out in 2008. Here we have a 2017 release, 2017 build, AT&T CL8-3207 of Smart Call Blocker and Power Backup, and a 2011 VTech DS6421-3, which was sold all the way until 2023. These are both on the Cockpit line. And the reason I call the line over here that is because the shelves next to it are where I build my pretend airplane cockpit. On the lower of those two shelves is the second handset to the KX-TG885SK on the main line. On the wall, we have a 1997 Panasonic KX-TCM422, which is a 46 to 49 MHz cordless phone. It's an analog phone with a telescopic antenna. This, but in white, was what we had up until 2005, from about 97 to 05. So this was the first phone we had when I was born. We got the 5432, the KX-TG 5432 in 05 or 06, and we had that up until 2016, when that was replaced with the 2014 KX-TG E263 that we have now. On this end table, which I call Phone Island, we have a 2011 VTech DS6421-3 second handset, a red one, making that my first colored cordless phone. Next to it, the second handset to the AT&T CL8-3207, and the second handset to the Panasonic KX-TG E274. All of these are on the Cockpit line. Next we have the cordless handset to the KX-TG1062, which unfortunately came with a broken display. So I'm going to have to get that replaced eventually. And by the way, this model is basically the same as the UK and Middle East KX-TG6461, but they have a different menu layout, and we get silent mode and they don't. And lastly, we have a 2019 Panasonic KX-TG938x handset registered to the KX-TG934SK on the main desk. The setup is powered by what's called FreePBX, which is a Linux virtual machine running on my MacBook. And it's the PBX server that this Grandstream HC801V2 for the Cockpit line and Grandstream HG813 for the mainline ATAs are running on. The outside line is this cool device called Cell2Jack, which lets you connect your cell phone via Bluetooth and convert any landline phone into a link-to-cell phone. And it connects to the network using this GLINet travel router. And this is the MacBook that powers the system. I have way more phones than that, though. I have 4 shelves worth of phones on my phone display shelf. And even more phones here in my overflow bin.